Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra Martin, and welcome to my series, What in the LOU? This series is not intended to explain every detail of the LOU, but to focus on the more specific parts. So let's jump right in. What is observation mode? Is it required? Yes. All teachers must turn on their camera and point in the direction of instruction so that students can passively view instruction. So the camera will be pointed at you and whatever method you are using to teach. Now, what does passively entail? Passively is interpreted by the LOU as meaning that students do not get to ask questions during the lesson, but rather watch you teach and engage their peers. What about attendance? The LOU speaks to you having to take the students' attendance when they entered into the waiting room of the Zoom and continue to record students' attendance in the electronic gradebook. It does not put the responsibility of taking attendance on the school site, but rather the teacher. The teacher is subject to Weekly Briefing 31186 that dictates how attendance is determined and how classwork and class activities should be disseminated. The weekly briefing entitled The Student Attendance During Stay-at-Home Directive requires students to follow 3 steps to be present, and one of which is finishing all assignments. This essentially requires teachers of students in observation mode or teacher opting into dual modalities to go back and modify attendance for students who failed to complete all 3 steps and mark them absent. What else do teachers have to do regarding quarantined students? The LOU indicates that all teachers will provide remote students assignments and activities, which could essentially be during the class time because the LOU is unclear whether teachers who do not opt into dual modalities can or cannot email students assignments and activities later on. What if my technology glitches or does not work? There's no mention of teacher responsibility for technology glitches, so if it doesn't work, you can put in an ISM for worksite glitches at your convenience. I also want to answer a question I received last Frank Friday. Do elementary school teachers have to keep their cameras on all day? The way the language is worded, elementary school teachers must keep their cameras on during all instructional times. I also received a comment to my previous Frank Friday from a teacher who has already been asked to activate observation mode. In a nutshell, her commentary is that it still takes work on the teacher's part because you have to set up meetings, connect, which is with internet connectivity issues can be a problem too, and answer their emailed questions within 24 hours. Let's not forget that answering their questions may require lengthy answers because teachers are required to provide remote students assignments. She ended her commentary by saying this feels like more of the same of last year, and I will not argue with that. How does the $300 compensation work? Despite the unclear sentence that all teachers will receive a $300 stipend for the implementation of Schoology, UTD staff has interpreted this sentence to mean all teachers will automatically receive this stipend for being required to implement observation mode as needed regardless of the level of implementation of Schoology. I received another great question in response to my last Frank Friday as to whether the $300 stipend is received every time a teacher has a new set of quarantined students. And although that would be great, the answer to that is no. It's a one-time stipend for the year. I hope you enjoyed my first episode of What in the LOU. If there's any lingering questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll answer them in the chat.